Today it is time to take over Salford City in the final rebuild of FC24. The club owned by the class of 92 former Manchester United greats, including Gary Neville, David Beckham and more, are in the 4th division of English football, so it's one of the biggest challenges on this channel yet. Now I have updated the squad so that we have the players of this season in the squad of the 24-25 season. And looking at it, I mean, we have some younger players such as Negru, who I've put at centre-back, even though Chester is 3 higher rated, but he's 34. Watson and Ashley are like the weaknesses alongside Negru, who I want to grow though. Ashley also only 23. Maybe we need a new centre defensive midfielder, I'm not so sure yet. We only have about 3 million in our budget, so we have to be really careful what we do on the market. However, the big rule of this rebuild with Salford is that we can only buy players out of the English league system, so Premier League, Championship, League 1 or League 2. During the whole rebuild, no other players are actually eligible to come to us. We set the tactical vision to counter-attacking because I want to see what this team is all about and trying to master that skill, that tactical vision first. I've also added 1 coach per position to let our players grow quicker. However, that has once again dipped our budget to 2 million. So the first player we bring over to Salford City is a championship player, a CDM in this save from Leicester City, who are a championship club here in this save. The Englishman Sammy Braybrook joining us for 720k. The second player we go in for is certainly a man for the future. He might just sit on the bench for the first season. It is Felipe Rodriguez Gentile, a striker coming in from Preston for 400k. We then managed to bring in Karl Hein on a loan move from Arsenal for 12 months. Braybrook really offers something new. He's 1963 overall, he's our highest rated CDM. Hein goes into the net. He's as highly rated as Jones, who is though 13 years older than him. And we have an optional future fee on Hein to buy him from Arsenal. About season 1 with Salford is done and dusted, and we are the champions. We go up to League 1 within 1 season, 10 draws, 11 losses, 25 wins, 2.0 Forest Green. We've even reached round 3 of the FA Cup, where we lost to Stockport though. Different story in the Carabao Cup, where we have lost to West Bromwich Albion on penalties in round 1. And the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, where we absolutely shed the bed, where we finished last in our group. There are a few positive notes, like Cole Stockton 14 goals, 10 for left back Garbett with 6 assists, 10 and 10 for Woodburn, who is one of the most talented players. He's gone up by 4th with 70 overall. Adel Kaun, he's 64 rated, he's scored 8 goals, and then McElhenney scored 7 goals, with Rodriguez Gentile gone up by 3 and scoring 7 goals as well. The squad is absolutely not looking terrible for a first season with a lower league club. Woodburn, as I said, our strongest player, 2470 overall. Braybrook has grown to like 65. Garbett 65 as well. Tilt, the captain, 32-65. And Negru has gone up by, I think, 5 overall. He's 66 rated, our best centre-back. We finished the season as the champions of League 2. I don't know what's going on with the manager rating. I'm not sacked yet. I hope that doesn't happen. Otherwise, this challenge will end very soon. For Season 3, I have made a couple of changes, bringing in Rav Vandenberg from Middlesbrough for 2.95 million, as we had about 6 million in our budget. As well as bringing in James Beadle from Brighton for 2.8 million. A very talented goalkeeper, as we didn't have any goalkeeper left. And finally, as we didn't have any money left in our bank, I have loaned in Diego Moreira as our 3rd signing of the season from Chelsea, with an option to buy as well. We've also sold the likes of Junior Luamba for 620k to Dunkirk, and Conor McElhenney, who wanted to leave the club, to Karagümrük for 520k. And so this is our squad for the 2nd season. Beadle is 2070 overall. We have Vandenberg also, same overall, same age. And finally Moreira with 71 overall and 20 years of age as well. So a very good upgrade in 3 different positions: goalkeeper, centre-back and left midfielder. Season 2 is done and dusted, and we have made it into the playoffs of League 1. So from being the champions of League 2 to being 5th placed in League 1. What a season. We, however, did lose then to Peterborough in the promotion playoff semi-final. And in the end, it is Bristol City defeating Peterborough in the final to go up as well, alongside the other two teams, Derby and Barnsley. We made the round 3 of the FA Cup, where we got knocked out by Wycombe, though. In the Carabao, we got knocked out once again in round 1 by Charlton. And finally, in the BSM Trophy, we made it to the quarterfinals. Before getting knocked out by the champions, I think. No, by the other promoted team as well. They are not champions, though. 18 goals for Stockton is great. 11 goals for Moreira, who is 2 years at our club. So he will be there for 1 more year. And then Rodriguez Gentil up by 4. 11 goals for him. Adelakun with 8 goals as well. The team is looking nice as well. Moreira up to a 75. We have Beadle up to a 75. Braybrook 69. Chester 67, Woodburn 70 overall, Stockton 68, Vandenberg 74. I mean, the team is coming together nicely. In the end, we have played a very good second season here. We didn't climb up to the championship right away because we've lost in the playoffs to, of course, Peterborough. And our growth of the team, and that's the most important thing, has been really nice. So let's see what we can achieve in Season 3. To start off season number 3, we have made some moves. Davies goes out of the club to Feral Pisalo for 940k. Osterfield goes to Racing de Ferrol for 760k. Olopad, a third string right back, goes to Gillingham for 170. And then we have signed Diego Moreira permanently from Chelsea. He had, of course, a buyout clause, which we activated, 3.3 million. And then we have loaned in Alan Bitfian and Luke Chambers, both of them for 1 season, and both of them with an option to buy next season. So a left back with 2167 and a backup goalkeeper 2069, giving backup to Beadle. As you can see, Chambers now replaces Garber, who will retire at the end of the season. He's 32, 67 overall. We have a very good squad here for League 1 standards. We have, of course, our star player Moreira, 75 overall at 21 years of age. 69 rated grade. Season 3 with Salford City has ended, and we are the champions. We finally go up to the championship. 87 points, 1 ahead of Peterborough, and 6 ahead of Bolton. In the FA Cup, we lose to Stoke City in round 3. This time we passed round 1 of the Carabao Cup, but then lost to Middlesbrough in round 2. And finally, we once again got grouped shamelessly in the northern section, Group H, 0 points, 0 wins, 0 draws, 2 losses. I mean, 21 goals for Moreira, 13 goals and 11 assists for Woodburn, 13 for Stockton, and even 10 for Adel Kaun. I simply cannot pronounce this name, Adelakun. 8 for Rodriguez Gentile, the signing from Season 1, who's gone up by 4 as well. This team is coming together nicely. I mean, apart from Ashley and Chester's, we have just those two under the overall of 70. So I do believe that this team is ready for the championship. Moreira is more than ready, 79 overall. Vandenberg 78, Beadle 78. We have Braybrook 71, Woodburn 71. I mean, those guys are ready for the championship. That was it with League 1. We finally go to the championship. Well, hopefully that was it with League 1. Hopefully we don't fall back. I don't expect that to happen with the squad we've got. So let's jump into Season 4. So guys, to start off Season 4, we have made Luke Chambers' arrival official, permanent as well. From Liverpool for 1.6 million. He was on loan to us, of course, last season. Betfian, on the other hand, couldn't be convinced to stay. Which means that we have still round about 5 million left in our budget to go in for new players. So lads, instead of going all in for players with those 5 million roundabout we have in our budget, we just go in for a new scout who will bring us some talents from England. A 5-star one. He's cost us 4 million. He will go to England for 9 months, so we have roundabout still a little less than 1 million left in our budget. So guys, it is important to note that I haven't added this Neyman guy. He has been added by the game, certainly because we don't have or didn't have enough squad depth. But I have done a double swoop, Going in once again for why not Bedfian as our backup goalkeeper. And then the Argentinian centre-back Palacio, 19 years of age, 72 overall. He can even start here ahead of Negru. He's also coming on a loan, just like Bedfian once again. Certainly it's going to be interesting to see how those two, Bedfian, and who we know already of course, and Palacio, will fare in this team, because we've not done any business out as our squad is already very Championships season number 4 is over and we finish in 5th place. A massively successful first championship season. 78 points. Burnley and Ipswich go up immediately, I should say. However, we do lose 3-1 to Sheffield United, the favourites I have to say, in the playoff semi-finals. And Sheffield go on to win it against Luton, go up to the Premier League. We had actually reached round 4 of the FA Cup before getting knocked out by Watford. In the Carabao, we got knocked out by Spurs in round 3. Better cups, absolutely. 28 goals for Moreira up to an 82. A championship player gone wild. 11 for Rodriguez in Chile, who has taken the place of Stockton, who will retire at 33. 7 goals for Abdel Kaoun. We have 6 goals for Ashley, 5 and 6 for Woodburn. The team is looking very good for a championship side. We have 2 actually, 80 plus rated players in Vandenberg and Moreira. Beadle is very close as well at 79. Palacio 74, but he might return to his own club. We have Braybrug at the 71 still. 17-year-old Yates from the Youth Academy. 66 overall. Once again, a very good season. We didn't seem to have any problems of adaptation in the championship, so I really expect us to put up a fight next season to go up to the Premier League. So this time at the start of season 5, I have made the signing of Alpha Alan Bedfian to Salford City, a concrete one, a permanent one, for 2 million from West Ham. We still have about 9 million in our budget for 2 further players. Well lads, we have done a double-headed business here. Going in once again for Tobias Palacio from Aston Villa on a loan move, with an option to buy once again. And Paris Brunner, a big fish, 21 years of age, 78 overall. He comes in for 2 years on a dry loan, who we can still make into a permanent, but 2 years is a long time for this big talent. I mean, once again they've given me 2 players that I didn't command from anywhere, Perret and Glover. But yeah, I'm not gonna use them as much, but the big ones are Brunner here, of course. He's 21, 78, 8 ratings higher than Rodriguez. And of course, Palacio we already know from last season, alongside Bedfian, who is of course now a permanent player of Salford City. We've also got a certain striker, T.O. Man from the Youth Academy, 16 years of age, 59 overall, 76 to 90 potential. He's going to get promoted to the Season 5 is over, and what? We are in 12th position. After being in 5th last season, we have absolutely regressed into mid-table mandem. That is absolutely shocking. We have Everton, Brentford and Bournemouth all going up. Everton and Brentford immediately. Bournemouth, Watford, Preston and West Brom have to make it out in the playoffs. We have been knocked out in the round 4 replay of the FA Cup by Aston Villa, but at least round 4 there. We have also been knocked out by Oxford United in round 1 of the Carabao Cup. Nothing new there. I mean, once again, 20 goals by Moreira up to an 83, 12 by Woodburn, Chester's with 8, Rodriguez with 7, and Brunner only with 6 goals. He's here for yet another season. But that is a bit shocking. I absolutely want to buy Brunner, but he's about 40 million worth. I don't think we can make that out, but at least he's here for yet another season. We have Palacio, whose loan is expiring, but we might be able to do something there. Beadle 79, Vandenberg 82, Chambers 77. The team is too good to play in the championship, in my opinion. A quite disappointing season comes to an end, but maybe that gives us the energy to catalyze us forward next season, in Season 6. I feel like we've been trapped in the same, situation for the last couple of years. We couldn't get hold of Palacio on a permanent because, time just ran out. And so we've gone in for a new man. A centre-back in Ibai Mendes, but he cost us 12.3 million from Brentford. He's a regen, a Spaniard, and I have all my hopes put into him We have made more sales, Tom Glover to Cardiff City and Felipe Rodriguez Gentile to Estudiantes for 2.9 million. I've brought one more player in Ramon Vergara from Spurs for 12 months. He comes in on a loan move. Let's see what his overall is going to be. A 76, so he's without a doubt our right back starter. Which means that the new man Mendes is of course now the starter. 1877, even better than Palacio. And Mann is the backup striker from the youth. He's a youth academy player. 1762 overall. We have Vergara on the right back spot. Of course, 1875. The team is looking very good. Bruna is also... Season 6 has come to a close. We are the champions. It works. It did work. It can work, guys. That's what it shows here. Salford City at the top of the championship, going up to the Premier League alongside Nottingham Forest, and then one out of Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, Plymouth Argyle, and Norwich. It will effectively be Sheffield United, Plymouth Argyle just about missed out on sensationally going up to the Premier League. We lost in the FA Cup 4th round replay to Sheffield United 2-0, and it is Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup against Leeds. Carabao, that's more like it. Man City defeating Chelsea in the final. Whilst we have actually made it into the round of 16 before getting knocked out by Fulham. I mean, once again, 25 goals, 87 rated Diego Moreira, absolute superstar. 23 goals for Bruno, who will though go back to Arsenal if we don't buy him. 11 goals for Chesters, 11 goals for backup striker Mann from the youth. The team does look relatively bright to go in the Premier League, especially the back line, but bear in mind that we will lose probably Vergara, who should return from loan, and then Bruna. He's, of course, going back to Arsenal. The midfield is where I'm really a bit worried. Ashley there, the CDM, 2970. Woodburn is good. Moreira is, of course, fantastic. Chesters is 71, a bit low rated, but maybe we have to sell Moreira if we don't get enough funds next season to go in for 3 quality players that elevate this squad to the next level. Very successful 6th season. In the 7th, we will be in the Premier League, finally, from League 1, from League 2 actually, to League 1, to the Championship, and then finally getting to the Premier League. Within 6 seasons, we've made that happen. So lads, our first action of Season 7 is to actually bring in permanently our right back from Tottenham Hotspur. We had a buyout option, a clause in his contract that we just triggered for 14 million. Ramon Vergara, the reliable right back from Spurs, coming in to Salford City for our first Premier League season. We actually do have 24 million in our budget still after, of course, signing Vergara. But that's going to be really tough, though, to bring in world-class players. We have, of course, lost our big lad up top, Paris Bruna, so we needed to go in for a new striker. And I think I found a very good one for the short term, especially. He's 33 already, his contract was expiring. I am speaking about Ivan Toney joining us from Bournemouth for 11 measly million. Last but not least, I go in with the last scraps of money we had for a new centre midfielder, an absolute free kick menace. The best free kick taker probably in the world right now. Of course, I'm speaking about James Ward-Prowse joining us from West Ham for 13 million. Well, Ward-Prowse, of course, not the captain, but I'm gonna change that. He's 76 overall at 34 years of age. Not a great player, but certainly better than Ashley on that position, who goes to the bench. I mean, the team is, of course, now stacked with Ivan Toney, who is 33, 80 overall. And Vergara, who is here on a permanent 1977, alongside, of course, James Ward-Prowse. The free kick is done and dusted, and we've just about avoided relegation. Only 7 wins, the second lowest in the division. West Ham go down, very surprisingly. Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth as well. We are in 17th, 35 points, just 1 point ahead of Bournemouth in the first relegating spot. On the other hand, it is Manchester City running away with the league. 19 points out of Liverpool and 20 out of Chelsea. We are very far off those 3 positions. The FA Cup also goes to City over Man United. We have made it actually into the quarter-finals there before getting knocked out by Man United. The Carabao goes to Southampton, surprisingly, over Chelsea. Here we've been knocked out in round 3 by Brentford. More like business as usual here. I mean, without the 19 goals by Ivan Toney, even though he's gone down by 3, we wouldn't have survived by any stretch. 9 goals by Moreira is a bit disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. His first Premier League season, I would have expected more. He was tearing up the championship. He's up to a 90 overall. As I already said, Tony 34.77 down by 3. We have Moreira up to a 90 overall. We may need to sell him after all, because the other parts of my team, especially here, Chester's, and then the midfield, Ward-Prowse, who is now 74.35. Braybrook is also only 73 rated. Woodburn is 77, not bad, but he's also already 30. It was a hard task not to get relegated. We actually made it happen, so well done for that. But 17th place, we have to improve absolutely next season. We finally done it. Diego Moreira has been sold for 197 million to Bayer Leverkusen. What a transfer out. We've also sold our veteran striker Ivan Toney to FC20 for 10.3 million. And the youth academy player Logan Turner for 15.8 million. He had lost his potential tag. Which leaves us with a whopping 208 million in our bank to go in for 3 players to finally upgrade that squad. So look, the first improvement, maybe the most important one, is a new striker. 25 years old, from Scotland, 86 overall already. His contract was expiring. For a naughty amount of money, 69 million, he joins us. Evan Ferguson from Brentford. The second signing we make is also a very big one. A centre midfielder, an Englishman from Liverpool in the save. James Ward-Prowse is going to retire at the end of the season, and here is his upgrade. Archie Gray coming in from Liverpool for 66 million. Our third and final signing is a regen from Brazil, a left winger, replacing the likes of course, the man that just left us, Diego Moreira. I am putting a lot of hope into him. It is Francisco Araujo joining us for 59 million, plus our youth academy player Michael Weaver, just to facilitate that transfer. For now, this is how we are looking like. Thomas, the right winger, goes into that right wing spot. He has a lot of potential, so I'm putting my trust into him, a youth academy player, was on loan last season. Then Araujo goes onto that left wing. He's a left footer. You guys know that I love left footers to go on the right, but Thomas is also a left footer, so we leave it like this. Araujo is 1982 overall already. Ferguson, of course, the new striker, 2586. And Gray in midfield, 2484. 3 young players that hopefully can put us to the next level, even though Moreira has now left. I mean, the backline is done and dusted, and we finish in a much improved 11th spot. 47 points, mid-table. As mid-table as it can get. Chelsea are the champions, Arsenal second. The FA Cup goes to Man City over Fulham. We've been knocked out in the round 3 already, replay, by Newcastle on penalties. The Carabao goes to Spurs over Preston of all teams. Here we've been knocked out by Chelsea in round 3 as well, so no good cup runs this season. 10 goals by Ferguson at the absolute maximum. 9 for Archie Gray with 6 assists, he's our best scorer. Thomas from the youth with 8 goals. 8 goals for Newman Araujo with 5 assists, but still a bit disappointing, those stats. The team is coming together nicely, apart from maybe Braybrook and Woodburn, who, as well as maybe Thomas, who we could replace next season. This team is quality. It's absolutely nice to see. We have promoted a certain Holt from the youth as well. He's 18, 70 overall, a right winger. We are looking at a much improved Premier League finish, but still the stats weren't really looking that great. Carabao and FA Cup were miserable. But yeah, let's see if we can continuously improve in Season 9. We didn't have too great of a budget, and so even for one player, we had to scrape all our money together. A new CDM replacing Braybrook, that was our weakest area, I would say. We've gone in for a big replacement from Everton, actually a Liverpool player in real life, quite funny. Stefan Bajcetic for 44 million, his contract was expiring. With Bajcetic now there ahead of Braybrook, this is looking like a much improved starting 11, even though we've only changed one position. The defense, as I've said many times now, is fine. Beadle at 82. We have an 86 rated Gray. Woodburn, the captain, 78 rated. I mean, he could get replaced next season, but for now he's fine. Thomas, I want to see he's done and dusted, and at this point, we will never change. We will never finish, actually, this save. 16th spot, we nearly got relegated. That was even closer than the first season we were in here. I wanted us to be in like 6th. We are in 16th. Manchester City once again the champions ahead of Arsenal and Chelsea and Liverpool. Brighton win the Carabao Cup over Man United. We actually got to the quarterfinals, but Brighton knocked us out. However, there is a change. In the FA Cup, we do win our first trophy of the rebuild. Hallelujah. Against Middlesbrough in the final of all clubs. This is the right time to look at European competitions for the first time. Barcelona win the Champions League over Dortmund. We have Brighton winning the Europa League over Juventus, so their second title of this season, actually. And finally, the Conference League goes to Atalanta over PSV Eindhoven from the Netherlands. 23 goals, that is better from Ferguson. Even though we finished lower, he scored more goals. Also Gray the second, with 14 goals, 10 assists, 11 goals for Araujo. Actually, the stats are looking much better. I mean, there is no excuse for this team being this bad, finishing as low as 16th. We have a fantastic team, a very bad Premier League season, Season 9, but still, we made it into the quarterfinals of the Carabao, so better there, and winners of the FA Cup, which certifies our place in the Europa League for Season 10. Finally, some European football. Again, the first and final signing we make for Season 10 is for a new centre defensive midfielder. Again, I have to say, I'm gonna switch up the formation, but Woodburn had to get replaced. That's why we go in for the German Eric Martel from Liverpool for 38 million, a new CDM, 85 rated at 30 years of age. We do play our first competitive game of the season as the FA Cup winners against champions Man City. I'm not expecting a lot here, and it's a 2-0 loss, Haaland and Foden with the goals. We have just sold Tyler Holt, who has lost his potential tag as well, a former Youth Academy player, for 9.2 million to Sheffield United. And Daniel Chesters for 3.95 million to Ghent. Quite literally, there is not a lot of doing here. I mean, I've set Martel in that CDM spot. Gray is now the centre midfielder on his own terms, with Woodburn who went to the bench. We have 3 CDMs on bench and reserves now. Braybrook, Ashley, and the Youth Academy player Alexander, who has the potential to be special. Well, of course, this season we will be in the Europa League alongside Stade Rennes, Copenhagen from, of course, Denmark, and Casapia from Portugal. That's more like it. Second place in the Premier League, 19 points behind Man City, but we will be in the Champions League in Season 11. We couldn't defend our FA Cup title, as Man City win that as well over Brighton. Well, our title defense was very poor, as we already got knocked out in round 3 by Wolves. Arsenal win the Carabao over Newcastle. Here we've been comprehensively knocked out by Liverpool, also in round 3, so back to square one in the cups. An El Clasico Champions League final goes to Real Madrid. We were, of course, in the Europa League group stages, where we actually got grouped. Third place, which means we go to the Conference League behind Stade Rennes and Copenhagen. Dortmund win the Europa League over Atletico Madrid. Whilst we made it through in the preliminary round against Wolfsburg from Austria. And then in the round of 16 we trashed FCSB. We also overcame PSV in the quarter. Semi-finals we even trashed Real Betis. And won against Torino in the final. Our second trophy of this rebuild in Season 10. 26 goals for 89 rated Araujo at 22 years of age. What a buy he was. 17 for Ferguson. That's also better than in his first season, of course. 14 for Grey Good, 9 for Thomas. Front 3 is really making the difference, especially Araujo and Ferguson. Thomas is also growing at a good rate. I mean, our midfield has completely changed over the last couple of seasons. Mendes is now one of the weakest links in the team. We've also promoted the likes of Bobby Green, Jasper Whitehouse, who I'm even planning to keep here. Nicholson has returned from loan, I do believe, also. And then Hodgson, a centre-back, Toby Hodgson. A very successful season. Granted, we got knocked out in the Europa League group, but we've won the Conference League. We finished second in the Premier League. One of the biggest heists in history here, from 16th to 2nd. Now that's more like it. 147 million in our budget for Season 11. Our biggest budget by a country mile yet. Our first look into Season 11 lets us buy a new centre-back. He's 20 years of age, 85 rated from Man City, only a fringe player there. That's when he joins us here at Salford City. It is Elliot Evans, a regen, of course, a centre-back. 80 million he cost us from City. We have, second of all, gone in for a new right-winger, an absolute game-changer. He's 30 years of age, 88 rated from Liverpool. In a swap deal with our current right-winger, Felix Thomas, from the youth. He's really done well, but now it was time to move on. Plus 30 million for Johan Bakayoko, the Belgian right-winger wizard. Third and final player to sign this season is a new cam, replacing the man who just, of course, retired, our former captain Woodburn. He's coming in from Spurs, this guy. Please ignore the glitch on the left. As for 20 million, we have signed Louis Ferguson from Spurs, a new cam, 33. So this is how the team is looking like after that big transfer window. We have Evans, 2085 at centre-back, Bakayoko at right wing with, of course, this 88 overall, 95 pace. What a player, 90 dribbling. I'm more than excited to see what he can do in this team. Of course, backup cam, Ferguson, 33 is already, but 82 rated, so he's an upgrade on Woodburn. On our bench, we are back with a problem that is fixed. The glitch is not there anymore, and the Champions League group is. We are alongside Hoffenheim, Inter and Besiktas in a very complicated Group F. Halfway point of the season, and we've actually made it out of Group F. Alongside Hoffenheim, who topped that group. Second place with 11 points we make. Third is actually only Inter, and fourth Besiktas. And we will face PSG, of course, as second place team in the round of 16. While at the halfway point of the Premier League season, we are only sitting in mid-table, 9th place. We are only 5 points off the top 4, which is actually right now Burnley in 4th. We've also had to sell Ibrahim Mendes, who was unhappy, so he's gone to Juventus for 43 million. We've even sold backup goalkeeper Alan Bitfian to Mainz, as we have Kelly, who returned from loan, a youth academy player. Here it is then, at the Peninsula Stadium at home against the French Giants of PSG, with a full-strength starting 11. We quick sim that game, and it's a 2-all draw. Sunset Darwin for PSG, and Ferguson and Gray for ourselves. We have landed in Paris with a 2-all draw from the first leg. Can we take something out of Paris? Can we upset the Parisians? Yes, it's a 3-2 win away. Bakayoko with a brace, and Ferguson in the 119th minute put us through, surprisingly, to the quarterfinals of the UCL. In the quarterfinals, we will face the mighty Blues of Chelsea, first at home at the Peninsula Stadium, our home stadium. Can we get something here? Yes, it's a 2-1 win. In the first leg, Ferguson and Araujo with the goals. Nusa gave Chelsea one back, but we are in the lead going into the second leg. Second leg underway. Can we prevail here away at Stamford Bridge as well? Yes, it's a 3-1 win. Araujo, Bakayoko and Stefan Baccetic score our goals, and we demolish Chelsea over 2 legs, 5-2. Oh wow, we will have a real chance of getting into that final. We will play Celtic in the semi-finals. Who would have thought that? First leg away from home with a full strength and rested starting 11. And we win 3-1, we come away with a win. Even though we were behind, Bakayoko, Araujo and Ferguson turned the game around at Celtic Park. Leg should only be a formality. At home, 3-1 up. Can we get to a sensational final? Yes. Araujo scores our goal. Moreira gave Celtic the lead. But we are through to the final of the UEFA Champions League in season 11. Well, in the Champions League final, we will face the Kings of Europe, Real Madrid. Of course, it couldn't get any more. We've had an absolute shocker in the Premier League. 52 points, 12th position. 12th position. So if we don't win the Champions League tonight, we won't even be in any kind of European football in season 12. The FA Cup goes to Coventry over Man City in the final. Wow. We've actually been knocked out by the eventual winners Coventry in round 4. We've made it happen for them to have that kind of a crazy run. We don't win the Carabao Cup either, as Fulham win that over Leicester. Even here we've been knocked out early doors by Liverpool. Absolutely embarrassing ourselves here. 4-0. An All-Italian Europa League final goes to Milan over Juventus. And Arsenal win a star-studded Conference League against Bayern Munich. Wow. 20 goals, 16 assists for Araujo, our top scorer by a country mile. 18 for Ferguson, not too bad. 12 for Bakayoko. But then there is a big drop off. 5 goals for Gray and 4 for Martel. Mann only with 4 goals. That is a bit disappointing. I mean, let's be honest here for a sec. This team should have done better than 12th position in the Premier League. But still, we are in the Champions League final. Couldn't have been a more polar opposite season. I'm really excited to use those guys here. Salford City against Real Madrid in the elusive Champions League final. Let's see how this goes. Bakayoko with an intervention, now playing it into Stefan Bajcetic. Can we make our first attack here work? It's Evan Ferguson. Ferguson! 1-0 after 13 minutes. Our first real opportunity. And we score. It's Evan Ferguson, the Scottishman. Here come Real Madrid through Musiala, who is a Real Madrid player at this point. But we do well. Here is Musiala, careful with those runs, but we do well defensively. Here is Vinny Jr., the danger man. Has been quiet so far, but maybe that changes already now, and it does. 1-1, 1 turn, 1 goal. Vinicius Jr. Equalizer in the 40th minute. We do well here through Bakayoko, who does well, giving it into Ferguson, who can turn away from Militao. It's Ferguson! Bringing us ahead again here with our second real chance of the game. We are so clutch, so clinical tonight. I mean, look at this. Ferguson with the turn, going. But you should have seen the tackle before from one of our midfielders. I think it was from Bajcetic. And then that cold finish. Here is Eric Martel. Martel trying to set himself free, giving the ball into Araujo with a bit of luck. Araujo trying to trick his way there. And he gets a free kick. It's Archie Gray to take. Trying to bring it inside. It's actually a good ball, good delivery. And a real chance here, but good save by Lefebvre. Here is Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe, that is a dangerous position to be in. Kylian Mbappe still Mbappe, but we defend well through Vandenberg. Here is Archie Gray. Can he create something now in the 73rd? Maybe the decider. It's a hat-trick for Evan Ferguson. Hat-trick, Evan Ferguson. What a game he's had. I mean, wow. Hall of Fame performance by Evan Ferguson and Hall of Fame celebration as well. What a pass here by Archie Gray. Evan Ferguson has positioned himself very well and scores it past Lefebvre. I mean, we cannot lose from this point onwards here now. But Vinicius Jr. trying to find an immediate answer. Gray, though, is a real menace tonight, but loses the ball immediately. Martel, though, does well as well. Big loss of the ball, and then Martel with that kind of a challenge, and it's a yellow and a red. Second yellow card for Eric Martel, who was sent off here for that challenge. I mean, yeah, way too late. Clear yellow card. I mean, I know Ferguson has played brilliantly well, but now it is Alexander's time to shine in midfield. He comes in for Ferguson to give us that extra midfielder. Mbappe with the free kick inside. Bakayoko has a lot of space, so much space now ahead of him. He has, of course, no Ferguson with him, but it doesn't seem to matter as Bakayoko goes and scores a 4th goal. It's an incredible solo run by the Belgian wizard, Johan Bakayoko. Incredible goal. I mean, look at that run all the way from his own half, very deep. Goes and goes. Doesn't he need Evan Ferguson here? He doesn't need him. He does it all on his own, our number 10, and we trash Real Madrid here. Now there is no coming back from Madrid. Even Bakayoko now with another challenge. He wants more. This Johan Bakayoko guy. Bakayoko still here tracking back. Look at him. Look at Bakayoko. What a performance by him here as well. It's as if he's electrified. Here he goes again. This time from the other side. We lose the ball, but it doesn't matter. As Salford City, from the ruins of League 2, has made it not only into the Premier League, but as the Champions League winners in a quite mediocre season, I have to say. But that final, we absolutely stepped up. We demolished the kings of Europe. Ferguson with a hat-trick and Bakayoko with an incredible, unforgettable solo goal. sealed the victory for Salford City over Real Madrid. But lads, if you enjoyed this final rebuild of FC24 before we move over to FC25, then please consider dropping a like on the video. Tell me in the comments what ideas you want me to do in FC25. What should be our first rebuild? For now though, we are the champions of Europe with Salford City. We enjoyed the title celebrations as Vandenberg, our captain. We lived that Champions League. We've deserved it in 11 grinding seasons. It's been Rebuild Sombrero. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm out.